I know that a lot of you want me to come out and yell about how the Leafs just aren't good enough and blame someone. Blame anybody. And many of you want me to go after the biggest names that make sense. Like, Dubas failed them because he didn't get him a good enough goalie. Blame Mrazek or Campbell. The Leafs Big Four asked for too much money and left them with no money for a proper supporting cast. Matthews in his 200-foot game, eh? Hot takes, many of you wanting these scalding hot takes. I hate to tell you, most of the time, it's just not like that. Most of the time, the fans and media overreact game to game, and context is lost way too much. But that's where our show is different. Here's some context. Leafs Nation is in panic mode again, and the Calgary Flames are flying high, right? Everything is hunky-dory in Calgary. They're 4 points back of the Leafs in the overall standings. That's context. And so is this. The Leafs have had higher expectations than being just good. Talk to them. To a man, they will tell you that competing with the best in the league is what they think they should be doing. Not losing 5-1 to the Buffalo Sabres, not letting Detroit roar back from 7-1 down to make it a game, or losing 5-2 to last place Montreal, which has all happened in the last 2 weeks. You see, I've been doing this for years, and there are now some universal truths that I've learned about professional sports in my, 27 years in the business, and you've heard them often if you watch the show, because unlike those hot takes some are looking for, these are tried, tested, and true. Special players make special plays on special days. Hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard. And 3, the difference between good and great is consistency. The difference between good and great is consistency. Man, does that shoe fit the Toronto Maple Leafs. You see flashes of absolute brilliance from a player or a team, but they're unable to sustain it. That right there, friends, is the Toronto Maple Leafs. When a team is young, you can forgive the inconsistency. That's learning to be a pro. Learning to be a winner, well, that, my friends, is different. That is bringing it every damn night. Ask Sidney Crosby. Every damn night. And here's the truth about the Toronto Maple Leafs, respectively. They don't, respectfully, they don't bring it every single night. I know it's hard in an 82-game schedule, but that is the difference between good and great. It's in those 82. It's in that regular season that you set the groundwork for what happens when you try and win the 16 that matter. Can the Leafs get it? I think they can. But when we talk about what the regular season means to a team that isn't made it out of the first round of the playoffs, I really think the consistency matters. It's what Leaf fans should be looking for over the final 28 games of the season, because I know for damn sure that's exactly what Sheldon Keefe, Kyle Dubas, and Brendan Shanahan are trying to find out about this group. Can they be consistent enough at a high level? And here's your hot take. If they don't find that consistency at a high level, change is coming to Toronto again.
What's the root of the inconsistency for the Toronto Maple Leafs?
Everything. Don't just blame the goaltenders. We saw flashes of absolute brilliance from Jack Campbell, right? Mm-hmm. We saw flashes of absolute brilliance from their defense core, because they were, after the turn of the calendar, they were 1-2 in save percentage and goals against. They were among the best in the league, and now they can't stop anybody. The defense needs help from the forwards and vice versa. All the teams that you have seen win have balance, right? Mm-hmm. Think about it in your head. You've got the great offensive player. Most of them have a Victor Hedman on their team, a big number 1 blue liner that can log real minutes, and a really good goalie. And for the Leafs, they don't have that real number 1 big defenseman that can wear on you, and you're not sure about their goaltending. So they have to do everything well. And from what I have seen This year, they do that about 70% of the time.
Yeah, their number one defenseman got exposed last night playing with Rasmus Sandin. That's probably an experiment that won't happen again. Both guys were -2.
What are they doing there? Do you know?
I think what Sheldon Keefe has done since he became coach of the Maple Leafs is he uses the regular season to try and figure out what is going to give him the consistent results that he's looking for. And they haven't really found that. I know they're on pace for probably the best season they've ever had, but he tinkers a lot. And he tinkers because he wants to find the best product so that they go into the playoffs and it's the best version of the Toronto Maple Leafs.
That's fair.
Which I think you probably should do. If you're a stubborn coach who doesn't change things when you're losing or things aren't going that way, your way, then that's
Don't you think
probably
Morgan
not working.
Riley has played some of the best hockey of his career since he got that deal? And he usually plays the best hockey of his career playing with a steady, stay-at-home defenseman. I mean, the best hockey that we've seen from Morgan Riley is either with TJ Brody or Ron Hainsey.
Yep, you're right.
Right? So I'll accept what you said. If you're just tinkering, you're giving it a shot.
He's adapting because
Okay.
he doesn't have Muzzin right now, so things are
give it a shot.
sort of in flux in the back end.
But sometimes it feels like, to me, the Leafs are trying to split the atom over and over and over again. Like, you figured out how Morgan Riley plays his best, and it's with a stay-at-home defenseman, and then you throw Sandin on there with him.
There's a lot of questions that come from a game like last night. And I know you said don't blame it on the goalie, and I'm not going to sit here and blame last night's effort on the goalie because that was the entire team, as Sheldon Keefe said. But like we talked about with Peter Mrazek, this guy's 30 years old. He's not a prospect. He's not someone that's going to grab the reins you wouldn't think and run with it, and you wouldn't be confident going into the playoffs with Peter Mrazek as your number one goalie. So despite not blaming it on the goalie, they still need to figure out what's going on in net. Like, it's still a massive problem.
I agree if you hadn't have seen a couple months of Jack Campbell. Like, they do have to figure it out. I do think that there is a possibility that Jack Campbell gets hot and wins a couple rounds in the postseason.
Yeah, which is so funny about hockey, right? It really is just about who gets hot.
That's without a doubt.
That's all it is.
Right. And we're hearing from Elliot Friedman that it sounds like the Leafs aren't going to go for a goalie.
Yeah.
And it's not as if they have a lot of cap room to do it, so you'd have to move a significant piece to get that done. And then you'd have to figure out a spot for probably Peter Mrazek. And is Jack Campbell that fragile that if you brought in another guy, would he feel like he's losing his spot and make whatever is going on in the last little while worse? Like, these are all of the dilemmas that face the Toronto Maple Leafs. And let's be clear, if they don't win that first round series, which could be against one of the best teams in the league in Florida or Tampa, there is going to be change coming to Toronto.
Yeah, and all of that, despite the effort last night, still the best power play in the league, still in contention to win the division, in probably the best division in all of hockey.
Yep.
So
that's why I say, like, I hate, listen, Stephen A., everyone will write me and say, Stephen A. Smith and Skip Bayless are all full of bleep, yet they make the most money in the business. And the most people watch those kind of shows where people yell and scream every day. And I try to stay away from that because the truth of the matter is Leafs Nation is in a panic. And still, if you look at the body of the work for the entire year, they've been pretty good. So what I'm talking about here is the difference between good and great. And I think I said that a couple times on purpose. The consistency is the difference between good and great. Because the Leafs are trying to be great. They're not trying to be good.
Yeah.